It'll soon be showtime across China. Thousands of cinemas are set to reopen. The outbreak forced them to shut down for more than 3 months. Now, the cinemas must abide by certain safety measures like frequent disinfection and installing infrared thermometers. Now, the China Film Administration estimates that the shutdown has caused a loss at the box office of more than $4 billion. For more on China's film industry, we are joined now by Imani Cheers. She's an associate professor of digital storytelling at the George Washington University. Imani, those numbers just staggering. A $4 billion hit. Just to provide some context, this couldn't have come at a worse time, really, because the movie business was actually on the rise before the virus outbreak, right?
Absolutely. They had hit numbers in 2019 that the industry in China hadn't seen in close to a decade. So it's quite staggering, the loss, but really, every single one of those dollars also is actually attached to a face. There's an industry worker, whether everyone from concession stands at theaters to production assistants and directors on films and projects that are now out of a job.
Can the industry bounce back? Is this going to be a long haul, do you think?
Absolutely. Unfortunately, I don't see this recovering in 2020. Hopefully, globally, we are going to see an uptick towards recovery in countries across the globe. And with that, hopefully, again, probably by the end of the year, we'll see things getting to a new normal in communities and societies, whereas, as they mentioned in the introductory piece to this segment, whether it be infrared screenings for individuals, social distancing when it comes to seating at the theaters, possibly only allowing a max number where if a theater could hold, let's just say 100, moviegoers, that they would only, be at 50% capacity. So it's going to be a very long time.
And even with that, I mean, I like to go to movies. I'm sure you do as well. Sit down, eat some popcorn, escape for a couple of hours. But this fear factor is really real. I mean, I can't see a lot of people jumping at the thought of going back into a theater, even with the social distancing. I mean, there's still those concerns out there. So how do the theaters survive that?
Absolutely. And I think the reality, as you just mentioned, the fear around COVID-19, coronavirus, and what that's doing to all, ages, and it's going to be really scary. So what is the industry going to do? They're going to have to get creative. They're going to have to figure out ways in which they can take this content, and if it isn't going to be in theaters, we're seeing here in the United States that it's everything from films that were set for May and June releases. They're going streaming. Platforms such as Fandango, for example, that most of us are used to that as a platform where individuals where you purchase tickets for your movie theater experience. And now we're seeing that as an app that's allowing you to watch films on demand as the day that they were supposed to come out in theaters. You can watch at the comfort, safety of your own home. So I think we're going to see a push to digital consumption of these films for the foreseeable future.
And there's a calculus involved in this because some of these movies that were supposed to come out, they've delayed it. They're going to bring it out once they can actually get into the theater. Others, as you say, going with the streaming services, but perhaps not making as much money. How do you weigh all of that?
The reality is the entire industry globally is going to see a loss. And we heard that number, that $4 billion number, which is just staggering to even think of. And that's only to date. Right? So we're thinking we're only here at May 15th. What does that look like? We're not even halfway through 2020. And normally summer months, as we all know, are the big months for studios to release their summer blockbusters, to really garner a large number of audiences sitting inside. When it's sweltering outside, as you just mentioned, you want to go inside somewhere cool, hang out during the days, and we're just not going to see that right now. So I don't think they're going to bounce back. This is going to be something that's going to go well into 2021, possibly even further.